Yes, sir, buddy. We just landed the plane. No, my bad. The spaceship. And it's your boy, Big Pimp, a.k.a. all up off in your main good draw. Frank Dingalina, Daddy Hall. Y'all know who it is. And man, listen. It's a lot of people I want on this planet. And it's a lot of people that can't step foot on this motherfucker. But it's one brother, man, that come from that bottom. I'm talking about the bottom of the bottom, Louisiana. Amen. And I done already gave him a golden ticket. He's a living legend. He brought us one of the crunkiest songs in the clubs in the early 2000s. Yes, sir. And it's none other than the living legend himself, Young Bleed. Yes, sir, buddy.
Hey. Thank you, my brother. What a tremendous, you know what I mean, introduction, man. I love you for that, man. I couldn't have said it better. Man. You know what I mean? And likewise with the love, you know, we'll get into that, but y'all, the same responsiveness, man, right down the street, man. That's a beautiful thing for this South. Thank you, Pimp.
It's reciprocated.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's due when you got legends like us meeting.
Yes, sir.
During our careers, I would say we cross paths.
Absolutely.
Coming and going, because it was promoters I talked to, and they'll be like, man, we had Young Bleed last week. Damn, man, why y'all ain't get us on that show?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And you know what I'm saying? I know you probably ran across the same thing.
Of course, man.
And I know you was familiar with my career for you to come in and say the green one, the one with the name in the bag. Which one you were, a Pimp or Gangsta? Man, so we knew of each other, but we never formally met.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, I'm pretty good, bro. I can't complain. We live and we living, celebrating the 50 years of hip-hop.
Yes, sir.
Before us and to us and during.
Yes, sir.
So here again, it's an honor and a pleasure, man. How about yourself,
man? I'm good, man. I'm still in hustle mode.
Hey, stay hungry, man.
You feel me?
Yes, sir. Stay
hungry. At the age I am now, I'm still at hustle mode like I was when I first started.
Oh, man.
And
we from the Superfly 3.
You feel me? I wonder when. You know what I wonder, brother?
Yeah.
and we gonna get into the interview, but we this more than an interview. We conversate.
We having a great conversation, my brother. Yes, sir.
I talk to different people, or I'll be on social media and I'll post on. When do we supposed to go to how our parents was? Like we might be if I know if I'm knocking that 50 though.
Yeah.
You knocking that 50 though.
Nah, come on with me. I just turned 50 June 6th this year, my brother. 50 years of life.
Give it to him.
The hip hop family.
Give it to him. That's beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
That's beautiful, man. And man, we still swag. I'm like, when we supposed to pull our pants up to our stuff?
Hey, young, old, man. Something old, something new, man. To be continued.
We the old school cats, man, that's still in the street, still doing music.
Yes, indeed.
So what Young Bleed? No, I don't want to go there first. Who is Young Bleed?
I'm a chip off the old block, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My granddaddy name was Bleed. My mama's father. I'm his first grandson. I went through a long lineage of life and, 50 years, half a century. But in that time of finding myself, you know what I mean? I could tell you my government, I could tell you my nickname, and several aliases.
Right.
When it went back to who I am and where I come from, on my mother's side of the family, my granddaddy was my Mecca. You see what I'm saying? He birthed my mother, so on and so forth. But my mother gave birth to me, and my evolution of hip hop is so stitch for stitch with that. When we talking hip hop on one sense, but the person I am, and that evolution, I'm a chip off the old man block, man, basically.
Where you from? The city?
The bottom of Southside Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man. Yeah, man.
Tell me about that city, because usually we always hear about, the main cities is, you got New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Shreveport.
Yes, sir.
And those are like if you're not from New Orleans, that's what out of town or no.
Off the bat.
So tell me about Baton Rouge and how does it differ from New Orleans and Shreveport? Cause when you first came in, I was like, is y'all on the gumbo type of eat? Because we're gonna go get something to eat.
Right.
So what I was saying is, what's the difference with Baton Rouge and New Orleans, or is it very similar?
we all kind of mixed and mingled into the same thing coming from Louisiana.
Right.
But Baton Rouge is a good in between those worlds. Shreveport being the north, part of Baton Rouge, Louisiana as a whole. But to us outside of Shreveport, it's our gang capital. You see what I'm saying? Because, I learned a lot of Cali homies in life. It's really rooted from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Southern roots into the Great Migration years before our time. So Shreveport having that kind of Cali thing, it's more blood and crypt up that way. Okay. New Orleans being the bigger city in that sense, party city and so on and so forth. Got those elements that evolved somewhere around, as far as our recollection, somewhere around the 80s when we heard Gregory D say, I heard the Kicking Colors in the St. Bernard with the buck jump time. Shouts out to Gregory D. The original Ninja Crew. Manny Fresh, Gregory D, rest in peace to Sporty T. You see what I'm saying? True homies. But we right between, we closer, 45 minutes outside of New Orleans, 4 hours from Shreveport. So that kind of different significance. Where we got a little bit of it all. You know what I mean? Ultimate gumbo pot, if I can say it like that.
So is Baton Rouge got a lot of that New Orleans culture?
New Orleans, but Baton Rouge has its own culture. This the funny thing about us. We used to be the 504 in the 70s and the 80s, I'd say. New Orleans was the 225. Now we the 225, they the 504. So it's that one and the same. Shreveport a little bit farther away from us. Country rural, but big city, small city compared to New Orleans. We big city, small city, here again on the in-between. So, to define Baton Rouge, but for starters, you gotta come there to see that difference. Cause it's like every other major city in any state. I mean, outside of California, we know LA before we know Sacramento is the capital of California. We relate to LA, New York. And hip hop is the Bronx, Brooklyn, and so on and so forth. The same definition between New Orleans and Baton Rouge being right down the street from us. So where the world will know New Orleans first for bounce music, we never made bounce music in Baton Rouge. That's the difference. And all the country towns on the in-between, everybody got their own thing. So that's one difference. Same food elements, the gumbo, you know what I mean? The gumbo mecca of the world. It's Louisiana as a whole. But we the same, if I could sum it up, the same but different. They're different.
Gotcha. And you coming from Baton Rouge, man, you like what, 2-3 hours from us, give or take?
We 5 hours.
About five? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you got New Orleans, they about 4 type time?
Yeah.
All right. So we was close. We was close. And you're coming up in the music business. What made you say, you know what? I'm finna do this. What are some groups that influenced you to be like, you know what, man, I can do that? So you coming from down at that bottom, because I can tell you mine, and it'll be the norm of the slick rigs and all that type of time.
That's all we had to draw from.
Right.
The East Coast, New York, just New York.
Right.
No other 49 states.
Right.
And we coming from our evolution. That's that when we talking 50 years of hip hop.
Right.
That's where anybody that's in tune and keyed to hip hop, from the old school until now, some of the youngsters know it, some of them don't know our history. But that's all we all had to draw from anywhere else in the country.
Right.
New York too as a whole. So we can go back and talk history and Cool Herc and so on and so forth. But my glitch, when I got it, I'm a 74 baby. You see what I'm saying? If hip hop 78, 79, and I'm sure before that, underground. And we talking commercial success, what you got on the wall,
Sugar Hill Gang.
Representing the Sugar Hill Gang.
Right.
But within that origin, Nucleus.
Nucleus.
Wicked Cricket. And Run DMC first album.
Right.
I can go through a plethora of groups, Fat Boys, Foes, and Skinny Boys.
All that.
Yeah, I'm out the crates. So in that sense, that glitch to me was when that first self-titled Run DMC album came out. And that I found, I was tinkering around, kind of bit and piece, freestyling here and there. Shouts out to Marley Marl, the Juice Crew. I had to steal MC Shan rhymes and battle with them because I get those records before they'll reach Baton Rouge. I had a cousin to go to New York every summer, and I got yet to go to New York. And my OGs up there is Dougie Fresh, rest in peace to Biz Mark.
Right.
Man, they Dougie Fresh ultimately. And years later, we would meet, different story. But having that access to my cousin recording tapes and bringing, it gave me the ups on the game in the New York lyrical game. So when the Juice Crew was evolved, I had those records first. That's the battle. This is my brother Lee Time from the concentration camp, CeeLo Records.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Found the cornerstone, you know what I mean, along with CeeLo. And our trilogy in the beginning. So we all had that hip hop dream just as well as yourself and anybody else outside of New York that was inspiring to be a rapper, MC at a young age. So 82, 83, Jam On It come out. Right. MC 83. And when I heard that first Run MC album, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to go back to my story, man, I think us as rappers, all us had that glorious moment where we be like, man, I think I can do it. Mm-hmm. Man, when I talk about me doing music, that glorious moment for me was the 3rd grade, bro.
Yo, you before me. I was 4th grade.
For real, 3rd grade, man. When I used to go to school, elementary, when I would get there, is this guy named Roderick Belser.
Yo.
He was in maybe the 5th grade, maybe 6th.
Yeah.
But he'll be standing on the stoop. Now me, I hadn't heard, we was Planet Rock. We on that type of time.
Of course, in Planet Rock.
You feel me? African Bambaataa.
Zulu Nation, African Bambaataa.
Yeah, the Zulu Nation. So we listening to that.
Yeah.
But that didn't make me say, I can do this.
Right.
Until I heard that dude on that stoop, man. His name was Roderick. His name was Roderick Belser, but he went by Roderick Boo. And when I tell you, man, for him to be in the 4th and 5th grade, I'm looking at him like, oh my God, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Man, I went home and wrote my first rhyme.
Yes, sir.
And I talk about that in a song called Paid My Dues when we signed with Rap A Lot.
Yes, sir.
We did a song called Paid My Dues. Yeah. And when I tell you that's one of my most heartfelt songs because I actually give him his roses on that song.
Right.
Slick Rick, of course, you wanted to, the gold with the patch on the eye. You wanted to be that.
Yes, sir.
But he made me want to do it.
Yes, sir.
And he just passed away, man. I think it could be going on a month now.
Oh,
he just passed away. But I made a post on Facebook and I showed our conversation because I was able to give him his roses.
While he was still here.
And I told him, I said, man, do you know if it wasn't for you?
Yes.
You was my motivation.
Right.
And that meant a lot to him. And he said, brother, I've been watching you and you exceeded my expectations. So to get that from him, man.
Yeah.
So that's a gem. That's a gem. Yeah. If you know somebody did something for you and it mean a lot to you, give them their roses while they here. That would have hurt me.
Brother,
man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I thank you for that, brother.
Absolutely.
And now let's get down to the
Let me say this for Reverend before we do that.
Go ahead.
This is what it's ironic. Lee Time in the building. His brother was my sparring rap partner since middle school.
Okay.
If I ain't want to rap in the Commons area at Kenilworth Middle, he'd jump in my shit area.
You better get
every day. But that's a different story. But his demise a few years ago.
Oh man.
So I share that with you, my brother. That was if it wasn't for him,
pushing
those guys. Me and him went to different schools.
Okay.
I always get this confused. You older, Tyra? Okay. His younger brother, his middle brother, no baby brother. You know what I mean? Muhammad. But and the way we stitched, he didn't know this was going on. We didn't know each other like that at the time as kids. I'm talking 11 years old, that type of thing. And later on in life, you know what I mean? We'll stitch with each other and that type of thing. So he again sharing that with you, my brother, in circumference.
Well, I salute your brother too, man.
Yes, sir.
Cause you know what? If it wasn't, what his name?
Tyrock. His middle brother.
His middle brother.
Yeah.
Cause if it wasn't for those brothers, it's a good chance, man.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be no Dirty Boy, Big Pimp, or Young Bleed.
Thank you.
I go that deep.
Spoken like a true gentleman, my brother.
I go that deep.
That part.
So salute him too, brother.
Salute, yes, sir.
I salute him.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Yes, indeed.
And speaking of it wouldn't be no young bleed.
Mm-hmm.
You coming out of Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And your song, let's talk about Act of Fool.
Act of Fool.
Act of Fool, what made you write Act of Fool, and what made you get aware of those 3 verses? Because a lot of people don't know. Before you got with Master P,
Yeah.
with How You Do That there,
Yes.
the song was actually called Act of Fool.
But really, a fool.
Act of Fool?
Inspired by King T's Act of Fool.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's some, what that is, who is King T?
King T, if you're familiar with the newer generation, will be more familiar with Exhibit. But rewind the tape, the alcoholic. Shouts out to Taz and those guys, and King T. You know, like original LA Compton, round.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. You talking about King T? You went down.
King T.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, inspired off of that, I really wanted to sample. They better get ready. I'm finna act a fool, but I just said it. But it's a few key elements in that record. Parliament, Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Right.
UTFO, I want to say drums.
Okay.
You know, I think write, record, and produce as a DJ. Whatever come to mind, the heart and spirit, I'ma try it in the mix, break beats, and you know, we go back to the crazy again. Not for sale records with the accents and the cuts and the sound effects.
Right.
I grew up that kid like Beat Street in the South.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? That type of thing.
Yeah, you going back to Beat Street.
Inspiration. Yeah.
Right. Wild style.
Breaking 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Don't get me
Electric
started.
Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Come on now. I'm with you, bro. We having a conversation.
Yeah,
this nostalgia.
My brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So putting that together, that was, you know, just for the actual title. When we was making that record and then the evolution of it, I kept saying, man, people, when they hear that, they're gonna say, man, that's a fool. I say, that's what I'm gonna call it. Just to keep it simple terms.
And man, I was asking you behind the scenes about the 3 verses on
sir.
Act of Fool.
Right.
And okay, before we go to that, when you put that song out, because you had to put it out for everybody to hear.
Yes, sir.
What did it do? What did it do to Baton Rouge and for Baton Rouge?
I remember if they was playing it on a Monday, and shouts out to my big cousin, Jewel Jackson.
Right.
We come from 2 different radio stations in Baton Rouge. Shouts out to WXOK, was the AM station, #1 station.
Okay.
And Q106. Then they birthed a new station called 94.1. My cousin Jewel Jackson, we used to have a group, shout out to him, and he again Katrina King. We was like a Fugees of the Baton Rouge young. I'm ferocious on the mic, our female constituent, she was as ferocious as me on the mic.
Okay.
Frog and Mo Projects, the same place you come from. You see what I'm saying? And Jewel had access to a radio station across in West Baton Rouge, Plaquemine and Port Allen. So as a teenager, he was one of the few guys. We found out recently that we family.
Okay.
Time God put us together, brother, we flock together. And my mother and them allowed me to go spend a night with him in a radio station until 6, 7, 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
But it was a baseball station. All he had to do was play commercials.
Right.
So he'll be working on beats and we'll be working on records. I'm in the back doing certain things. But he would be the one to break that record on 94.1. So if he played it on a Sunday, Monday coming into the week, by Friday, it was #1 in the city. You see what I'm saying? Phenomenal. For about 2, 3 years, if I'm not guesstimating, we couldn't perform that in a town without them saying, if we got on stage, we performed 2 or 3 records, and they'll tell your mirrors, infinite stories when that jumped off. You know what I mean?
So hearing your story, was that the catalyst that made P come get you, or No Limit come, like how that story is? How did you end up getting with P and doing that iconic song?
It go back to big bro CeeLo, man, and we go back to middle school, where Time went to a different middle school than us. Me, CeeLo, and his brother Tyrock went to Kenilworth Middle.
Okay.
Lo being a year older than me, was a big brother to me in the street, and real live street hood. but he had a dream to be a DJ then. So it was rumored around, and it wasn't rumored. We talked about it, but we actually never recorded. You know what I mean? Until later in life. So with that happening, a lot come to mind. They later on involved into the record company, CeeLo Records, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I'm trying not to lose the point. Something you asked, I'm trying to be short and brief.
Oh yeah.
What's the last thing you asked me?
What's the song Act of Fool? Was that the catalyst that catapulted you to
No Limit?
To No Limit. Did P hit and like I got to have him?
Me in particular, because being label heads, Loke and P, we'll go to Cox Cable or where we had to go edit commercials and different things going on in New Orleans, between New Orleans and back working and the networking process. P and Loke, some way they met each other. I wasn't there when they met each other, that type of thing. But in the evolution of we birthing as a camp, P coming back from California to New Orleans, it's in the crossing. And just the right place and right time. You see what I'm saying? The Powder soundtrack, Hot Summer 97, we had already put that record, I want to say 96 or something like that. And Pete dug it, you know what I mean? He liked that record and offered me an opportunity to do a remix, possible deal with Priority Records in California, video the whole nine, and pretty much the rest is history.
So when did that single drop?
We want to say like 96. We did the self-titled Concentration Camp compilation.
Okay.
And opposite of the two previous CeeLo records, solo records, Who's Gonna Ride and whatever, we branched into another dimension in that sense of the word, with a clickalation compilation. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they gave a chance to advertise everybody else other than just Loke, and we being background vocal for Loke Records. They gave me a time to say who I was, time, lay low, so on and so forth. And that was my solo effort and contributions
right
to that particular project, and it took off.
So okay, let me understand this. So you dropped the single Act of Fool. What year did that drop?
I want to say that compilation dropped 96 times.
That's 96. And when P got it, how you do that there, when did that drop?
The summer 97.
Summer 97.
About the soundtrack. So he doing that movie all at the same time.
Right.
Loved the record enough to add it to that soundtrack. And from there it goes on licks.
And man, you see how amazing that is, bro? That song to this day.
Yes, sir.
And not just the song, you got P doing his thing on the song, and then you got the other guy, CeeLo. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna whoop your ass. Yeah. So all of that's cool.
Yes, indeed.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get it twisted.
Right.
But when it come on in the club, we can play that first verse 30 times.
30 times.
Hey, what you talking about? Hey. I say, who that? Say you want to do that. Run up if you will and get your
ass with blue black. My nigga, my nerve. Hey, yes sir.
I keep a Mossberg, a palm on my hip at all time.
All time. Me incorporating the South. If you break down that verse, they start with the Saints. I'm trying to signify Louisiana.
Who that?
The very first words. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a real pump on my lap at all times. I forget the original record if it wasn't called that and that artist.
Right.
But I remember Bond saying it in a pocket full of stones with UGK. Rest in peace to the pimp.
Yeah, the pimp.
To the pimp.
Yeah, that was my partner.
So I'm trying to just add to what our template for the South, still trying to rise and be recognized by the hip hop culture. So that was my contribution to, hey, bro, y'all is, I say this all the time about y'all.
Right.
I know Birmingham J from Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham J, that's my partner.
Phenomenal artists.
Right.
And then homies in Birmingham and the whole thing. But y'all was the biggest group for this, like David Bound. I compare y'all to David Bound and no comparison.
Right.
For the state of Mississippi,
that's my partner.
That's blues, baby.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You hollering family now, bro.
Right. But for the whole state, when you look at for anybody like we was talking earlier, outside of Mississippi that don't know the hip hop culture in Mississippi and what's in the underground, same as Alabama, y'all stuck your Loch Ness Monster, y'all stuck your neck up for Alabama as a whole, not just Montgomery, for the whole state.
Right.
David Banner for the whole state of Mississippi that's recognized outside of our origin. So, you know, that type of thing, man. Yeah.
So you talking, at this point, you talking 20, you went back to 96, 97, so you talking 27 years,
all but 30
years.
All but 30. And underground beyond, you know what I mean?
Right, and still hidden.
For me, 41 plus years, because you jumped off before me. When you say third grade, it's fourth grade here again for me. That's 1983.
Yeah.
I just turned 50, so that's way more than half our life.
Right.
And contributions.
Right, when you think about how old you is in the third grade.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right, that part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
7, 8, easy.
Easy. Right, my first rap, man.
Right, yes,
I remember the hook.
Yes, sir.
And I was in the third grade writing hooks.
Yep. I heard you say that either in Hit the Flow. I had that first album that y'all had too, man.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. Been rapping since the third grade.
Since the third grade.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to be that far removed from, like you saying, the 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah.
And 97 when this song dropped, and it still can come on in the club now.
Yeah.
You moving forward with life now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say life after how you do that there.
Yeah.
Because Young Bleed is a staple in our, man, you're a legend.
Hey, man, take one and know one, my brother.
You're a legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you hear Young Bleed, you holler about, nigga, what?
Yeah.
Give a fuck, nigga, what? Full of that weed.
Man, yeah.
Bro, listen.
Yeah.
We up here in Alabama turning up like on that type of time. So you got Dirty Boys playing, you got Hit the Flow playing.
Yeah.
Then they bringing in how you do that though.
Yeah, all in the mix, man. All the same gumbo pie whoop game right there, man.
We been intertwined in music all our life.
Cosmic Brothers. I'm looking at your wall play, and I can show you some other shit with the alienation, all that type of thing. Hey, bro, it's Cosmos Cosmetics.
Okay.
That type is in the makeup with us, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's in our makeup.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Not knowing each other, but knowing each other.
Knowing each other. Louisiana, us and whoever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Next door is Banner. They're introducing you to Mississippi.
Right.
Y'all, anything you want to know about Alabama as a whole, and shouts out to Rich Boy as well.
Yeah.
But y'all being the mecca for us outside the box saying, okay, what's happening in Alabama? Okay.
Because I know y'all was getting it.
Yeah.
Mr. Big and
Mr.
Rest
Big.
in Peace Big.
Rest in peace, Big, man. Shouts out Birmingham J.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of artists, I forget those guys' name, that was a part of the concentration camp and what part of Alabama they was from. They come down, they was part of this, like Boo Rossini, shouts out to Boo. They came from Canton and Jackson, Mississippi, that joined the camp. So he again, that Gulf Coast. So I'm looking at it like painting a map on the wall and going state to state. We know Texas was Texas, you know what I mean, long time. But from Texas to Florida and bridging the gap, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and you know, Georgia is Georgia. So that's our whole, that's that show line, man.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Deep South as you can get other than South America.
Right.
They gotta fuck with us, man.
Exactly. And let me ask you, us getting out there, man, because both of us from the street, both of us live that street life.
Yes, sir.
Going to different clubs in different cities.
Yeah.
And not either understanding where you at or not knowing exactly how to move in these cities.
Right.
Have you ever been in a city or did a club where you felt like, whoo, how we gonna get out of this? Or am I gonna have to sit down behind something? What a crazy story where you done been to another city where I almost had to go there just because it could have been a fan, super starstruck.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you this because you're a fellow Conrad.
Yes, sir.
Because I got a million of these stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And what I want people to take from Young Bleed is not just how you do that there. You got out there on that road and man, you worked that song to feed your family.
Absolutely, brother.
And when we get out there to feed our family, we go through things. We run up on people, man, that think they know us and they're a little too touchy-feely.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You got people that gonna try to plot up.
Yes, sir.
Waiting behind the car, find out what hotel you at. So I know you got a story, man. If you can pull one out the hat, just to let people know that everybody go through it.
Yeah. 50 said it probably the best. If you love me, tell me you love me. Don't stab me, man. I hate to be in the pen for clapping one of my fans.
Right.
So straight, gays, and lesbians, man, you get approached by so many people in the physical form, in the flesh, but it's a spiritual warfare. Like you say, a lot of people be touchy-feely. Girls want to touch your hair and all that. You don't know who do what, who's who, and what's what. I remember one time, and 9 times out of 10, I normally have a good show. There's a couple of shows that bodies come out the show. You know, I hate what's going on, but free Mystical. I remember opening up for Mystical and going out to Tennessee, maybe even Nashville. I want to say it probably was Nashville. And it's a beautiful show. It's phenomenal. It's a packed house. You know, boys and girls galore. But I remember trying to leave and go home because I had to go to court the next morning. And they wouldn't let us leave off that show because there's a couple of bodies in the parking lot. We don't know what's going on. We in the building. That type of thing. That type of situation. Situation in Arkansas that you know, I had to kind of slide by the police and we party, have a good time. And El Dorado and the you know, the rash places. You see what I'm saying? You know, 9 times, the point I'm making is 9 times out of 10, I normally have a good show. Right. And it ain't murders. But I remember those shows because of a few bodies in those shows. Rest in peace to the deceased. I didn't know the people and so on and so forth. But I remember the police coming at the Mystical show and telling us, please, we can't let y'all leave now, because as soon as you walk out the door, it's a body laid right there. Right. So they got to do their investigation, scoop the body. And they I made it to court. Right. You know what I mean? Fortunately, the next morning, driving in a limousine. You know, some people sent somebody to pick me up in a limousine and drive me from Baton Rouge all the way to Tennessee and promised to bring me back for court the next morning. And by the grace of God, I made it. But I remember being held up because of that type of atmosphere. Yeah.
And to see that and to know that somebody came to your show and leaving home in a body bag, that hurt.
Kind of make you don't want to even do this.
Man, let me tell you, me and Gangsta did a show in the country. This gonna be quick.
Yeah, man.
The girl called and booked us.
Yeah.
Cool, bet. We'll be down there Saturday night. We get to the show, blow. Yeah. One of them country towns. Yeah. When I talk about that chitlin circuit. Yeah. And this had to be about maybe 2007, 8. Okay. Maybe 8, maybe 9.
Yeah, did.
We go in there, we rock the show. And I used to rock shows so hard, I'd come up out of my shirt.
Yeah.
I've been rapping since the 3rd grade, pour water on me, ton up, throwing water, crunk.
Going in.
And the show was so crunk that when we was done, it was like, instead of trying to chill, bro, let's go ahead and you know, slide, get on. Yeah, you got to know when to slide.
When to slide.
So we got on out of the car. We usually travel, it's about 4 of us. We're gonna go 1 car, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Yeah. We got somebody they gonna protect us, we're gonna protect ourselves. We our own bodyguards.
Yeah.
So we got that thing.
It. Absolutely.
Man, we come out the door, bro, going to our car. It's a dude laying by his truck with the door open. Done been shot about, from what I'm understanding, about 3 or 4 times.
Yes, indeed.
Dudes tried to rob him.
Yeah.
When we get out there, we had to get out there right after it happened.
Yes, sir.
Like literally, he got shot.
Yeah.
30 seconds go by, we walk out.
Yes.
No police. A couple of people standing around him like, hey, you all right?
Right.
Such and such, he done been shot.
Yeah.
We go over there, it's raining.
Yeah.
And I just keep remembering this man in the rain. And a lot of people, if you used to death, when you see people, they rolling, they trying to breathe. Yeah. So we getting all that. So I'm like, you know, everybody called the police. We got to get, police came, paramedics came, we gone.
Yeah.
The girl called me the next morning And I said, man, how, she was like, just making sure y'all made it home, pimp. It was so crazy last night. I'm like, golly, man. I said, what happened with the guy that got shot? She said, he died.
Yeah.
I said, damn. So it was more like, golly, until she told me, she said, do you know this man never go out? He never been to a club. And the only reason he came out, because he said Dirty Boys was his favorite group. He was an old school cat, bro. And he came to see us, bro. The dude don't even go out.
Yeah.
And one of them young goofies tried to rob him, and he fought back. Yeah. And they killed him. And this just to put you in the mind frame of who the type of guy he was.
Yes, indeed.
While we're doing the show, like I said, when we got done, hey, it's time to go. He was already gone.
Yes, indeed.
He watched Dirty get off the stage. He out the door.
He gone.
Old school cat.
Yeah, man.
So me and Gangsta was like, man, let's go. We get out there and we see him laying on the ground, man. And it's a lot of them stick with me, but that one there, it more so haunts me because he didn't just come see Dirty. He ain't come to see his old lady. He ain't come to get no food, get a chicken plate and chill. Yeah. The only reason he came out that night to even come to the club was to see his favorite group, the Dirty Boys. And to die, bro, that haunts me to this day.
I share that with you. In those ways, and and I don't wish death on the dog.
Right.
I remember a time in Colorado and that time in El Dorado. This guy in El Dorado, and I'm bringing it back up because what you just said to me, come down from Little Rock to celebrate with his homegirl. Now, out of any show I done did, I'm the only guy. Shouts out to my partner and vice president of Trap Door Entertainment, my label, Mr. Envy. And he really from Alabama and to Shreveport.
Okay.
So we did a lot of shows and different things together. But he was the only guy before me, we together, me, him, and a DJ. It was so sweet. The hotel was right across the street. We left the cars parked over there.
Walk across the street.
That type of thing. Beautiful night, just celebrating the homegirl birthday, and she had a homeboy from what I understood from Little Rock. They came way from Little Rock just to celebrate with her. Now he's 6'2", 6'4". Hefty boy, take his shirt off, got a gallon of Hennessy like you got right here.
Right.
And going around, so I remember him taking a selfie and we taking a selfie right before that. I go to the bathroom and take me a piss. You see what I'm saying? And hear some shots. By the time I walked out, I hear some girls say they killed him. The situation that took place that fast. And whatever's happening between the town, I ain't gonna get into the details.
Right.
Same situation. We walking out and he dead right here, a few feet away from the dope. If this the dope, he just went in the parking lot. He dead. It's another partner next to him shot, but he in shock. I think he survived. Fucked my head up so much. We walked back across the street to the hotel room, got our bags, got our money, and I ain't even stay in that room.
Right.
I remember that, and it's another time, crazy time. We doing the tour with Tech Nine, and when I signed with those guys,
I wish.
Same thing.
Tech Nine.
I was on but Midwest. I'm doing a 2-week tour, Mississippi, little Louisiana, little Texas, and I'm gone. I ended up on the rest of the tour with them, but my guy shouts out to Cotton Eye. They called him Cotton Eye Joe. My guy Josh was the marketing guy, and I ended up riding with him versus the tour bus, the travel vans, and all that. And we go to Mississippi one night. I have a few cousins and homeboys come and meet us, you know what I mean, on the Gulf Shore. For the hurricane, we party having a good time. And I meet some guys that coming in just on what's up with Kansas City and so on. We from this, but in the gang cordial. You see what I'm saying? Blood gang and whatever happened, but it's twisted and what they end up explaining to me, bro, that's what they call the Kansas City Shuffle. I was cool with the homie and all that type of thing.
Right.
But he, guys, we say this, shouts out to Rec Law, Texas, the homie that say, we eat with our eyes.
Right.
So I'm with a white guy, they don't think, you know what I mean? I know him and what's happening with him, but showing up in this rural deep South, he not quite used to, they wasn't used to this South like that. Was the first and maybe the only South artist that ever signed with Strange at the time, definitely. So we in the club promoting my record, doing this, and look, I had a few family members. We get in the club, and they single us out, look at it, and money game. We end up leaving. I left cousin them at the club. They partying, having a good time. But before once we hit the beach, that whole shoreline, you see some lights like Christine.
Right.
100 feet away, mashing up. And it's the homie that I'm running with in the club and all that.
Okay.
Man, the guy I was with, we went straight to the motel or hotel and put our baggage in the room. Didn't cut on the light, went straight to doing what we had to do. And later that night, we get to that part. I remember the guy saying, who the guy from Kansas City? Well, we ain't from Kansas City. The white guys from Kansas City. And they get thrown in the crazy twist. We was cool, we partied, we was, I don't know him from Ireland, but he, we partied and having a good time. But in one sense, hey, Bleed, come roll with us. I don't know you like that. Red flag, strike one. So fast forward the tape, we strike up, leave family at the club. And by the time we know that nobody's on this, you know what I mean, on the Gulf Coast but us. And we see some lights just speeding and catching up with us. So my guy like, hey man, hey brother, I think them guys.
Y'all driving?
Yeah, we driving.
There's a car, y'all noticed the car?
In a Sprinter van, yeah. Nothing is on this,
Just a road.
Yeah, but luckily, where we was, that whole, that Gulf, you know what I mean? So we wasn't too far from the club where we could double back. So I called Ken folks. Let's go back and, hey, bro, I need the thing, you know what I mean, just in case. Guy followed us around, it's like, bro, we wasn't on that, we're just trying to make sure y'all, and that's the homie, that's the homie. We hadn't talked in those times, so I don't like to talk bad or down on people.
Right.
But when me and the guy I was rolling with did was go straight back, get the strap from Cuz, and go back to the hotel, grab our bags like we sat them in the room, and rolled all the way back to Baton Rouge before we stayed there. Yeah,
and man, stores like that, man, we just were trying to make it home, bro. Man, we ain't trying to do nothing no more.
For that, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let us just make it home.
Yeah,
and
opportunists.
Opportunists,
man.
Yeah, you looking like a sweet lick. Yeah, you young Bleed.
What Pac say? What they think I'm walking around like I got some keys in my pocket?
Right. What y'all
really on that
doing? Yeah, this just the bank hand. Leave me alone. How y'all know they ain't sitting into my bank account?
Bank account, man. That part.
How was it working with P, man? Master P. How was it working with P?
A beautiful thing. And that was kind of the briefing. We got more history maybe doing spot dates and so on and so forth. But really working with P, I really worked with P for when we wrapped up The Balls in My Word, the last night of it before he turned it in the day after.
Okay.
And just swapping out 3 or so songs. So, I done worked with everybody else over the years, but that one particular night I had a chance to work with P for the first and only time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, cause when you're dealing with somebody like Master P at that point, he's a mogul. He was an artist. A lot of times you're not gonna see him. People might have people, but for P to be on that song with you, he saw something in you, and I'm glad he pulled you in.
And I appreciate that, absolutely, man.
Yeah, so man, moving forward with what you got going on now, like I was talking to you before, man, with your career now, cause even with, me and G, we wasn't trying to revamp our career. We're rappers, we're entertainers, dealing with music. Did you ever get into the other side of music, like the production?
The truth is, I'm the producer or co-producer at the very least of how you do that.
Okay.
Food.
It's your idea.
Yeah, shots, yeah. Brainchild, I wasn't so computerly inclined. Shouts out to Happy Perez that became the second producer after Lee Time.
Right.
Of C-Loc Records in the concentration camp. So it was an idea I passed on to him and we started to work on that.
Gotcha.
So my elements was here again, Earth, Wind and Fire, Aretha Franklin, Parliament.
Right.
And UTFO and King T, of course.
Right.
And my Uzi was a ton drums.
Okay.
And the break. You see what I'm saying? That's your drum template.
Well, these are the breaks.
Nah, my Uzi, Public Enemy.
Public Enemy,
so
okay.
Flavor Flav. My Uzi was a ton, get it, get down, my Uzi was a ton. So I used the with the I mixed all that together.
Okay.
And processing like a DJ from that.
Gotcha.
That room boy.
You went back old school to just be taking parts like that, because that was a New York type of style of doing.
Yeah, but also a Dr. Dre style of producing and mixing all those elements. Okay. When you say New York, when we talking the Bomb Squad and Hank Chocolate and all those guys, Cube Left NWA, a lot of people don't know that. Public Enemy, Bomb Squad producer, all those sound effects, scratches, and all the noise that was in records to set the template for what we was speaking on.
Right.
That was my essence, in that sense, like a DJ Quick, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So here again, coming from the South, I'm pulling off the East Coast tree, pulling off the West Coast tree, and trying to bring it home.
Right.
You see, in that sense. So yeah, I've been a producer without trying to be a producer. For years, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So man, like I was saying before, moving forward, with your, I wouldn't say career, because you've been in the music so long, you're a legend.
Yes, sir.
So you're not moving forward with a career.
Yeah, right.
You moving forward with legacy.
Yes, sir, with legacy.
What are you doing now as far as new projects?
I own a label nowadays for 10 plus years now called Trapdoor Entertainment.
Trapdoor?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of underground, some of my favorite underground guys across the country became affiliates.
Right.
So I'm trying to rebirth this label. I started a label when I co-op with Tech Nine and Strange Music, just to keep a label to continue to put independent records out.
Right.
But over time, I done gathered a plethora of people that's down with the cause. So I'm trying to rebirth that for those guys and myself as a whole, and so on and so forth. Shouts out to Lee Young, Michael Watts out there in Houston, Switcher House. We working on a project right now called Full Circle.
Dope.
My cousin Julio, Big Jess, Polo Man. I'm back in Baton Rouge. We working on a record for the city and throughout the world. That's called Bleed for My City, and that and as far as the label, I got One in the Chamber, man, a compilation called Welcome to the Trap, where I'm gonna introduce or reintroduce a lot of those artists as my underground favorites throughout the country. With the radio station, the podcast. I'm part of a podcast broadcast station out of H-Town as well. Shouts out to Southern Belle and High Risk, the rest of the family and staff. That's called Bangin' 832 Radio out of Houston. A documentary called Young Bleed, a Baton Rouge story. Shouts out to my cousin Frog and Picture Perfect Studios back in Baton Rouge. Miss Donna Butler, a movie called Divine Intervention. We're working on like a barbecue weed kind of, what I mean? TV episode called Burning with Bleed, where I cook on different woods, and pecan wood, oak, mesquite, and so on, as well as showing whatever strand of weed I'm smoking at that time.
Right.
I got a bud that's coming, it's called Cardionic Chronic. I got a liquid infused drink that's coming called Seaweed. Shouts out to Dave Greery between from LA into Mississippi, that type of thing. So I got my hand in a whole lot of things.
Well, you busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You busy, and I love that, because that show the business, the aspect of business, the growth.
The growth and development of it.
Because I know you coming from Baton Rouge, I ain't even gotta assume.
Yeah.
That street life.
Yeah, absolutely.
How deep you let the street life take you? Because a lot of us it grab us and then hold on to us. Yes. And when we try to get away and we pulling, it got our foot.
Yes, sir.
How you was able to shake loose from it?
We used to say this in Baton man, they pour dirt on you while you're walking, man.
Right.
Bucket of crabs, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, in that sense, born in it, not sworn in it.
Gotcha.
Certain things was in the family. You come out the household, chill on the porch, jump off the porches in the street. It's in the elementary school yard. So it's a lot of things I could tell you from a little bitty child.
Right.
From elementary school that was just exposure for a guy like myself.
Right.
And I had to try to find myself out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as the street hood and the two-way street of it's two ways to certain things, death or the penitentiary. So the blessing to me was hip-hop music.
Right.
That saved my life in that sense of the word.
Right. So it made you in some
Focus
sense
on something different.
Right.
And with New York giving us something in a divine way, it gave us, Louisiana's called a dream state. You can dream forever till you die. I hate to see black old men working, especially on roofs in the summertime. So we those type of kids that's coming up and trying to figure a passage to correct, if possible, the past and grow into a better future, if I can say it like that.
True. Absolutely. Growth. A man can't sit stagnant.
Nah.
And the growth is amazing. For you to go from this to now, you on a different playing field.
Right.
Yeah.
Following our great king, we were speaking of this earlier off the record.
Right.
But on the record.
Right.
In Montgomery, Louisiana, these the guys for the whole state of Alabama, for me, that came out and showed, okay,
then.
hip-hop exists, that too, is the Dirty Boy. So I love, respect, and salute you and Gangsta for that.
I appreciate that,
our
bro.
evolution from our great king, Dr. Martin Luther King.
Right.
So in that sense, for black people, that's all we had. We come after the 60s, 70s babies.
Right.
And Superfly and, those type of guys became our ghetto heroes.
Right,
you know
right.
I mean? So passing the torch on, we from Baton Rouge, we say pass the baton. You see what I'm saying? Run the race as long as you can run it and pass the knowledge on to the next generation that's supposed to have it, so you can know where you come from, know where you at, and know where to try to take you from here.
At all times.
Yeah.
You got any new project? Well, no, before I ask you about your new projects, anytime I talk to somebody from Louisiana, whether they're from Baton Rouge, Shreveport, New Orleans, what you think about, and this going back, the whole thing with Katrina and the conspiracies of they saying that it was flooded by the government to flood one side. We actually took a trip down there and did a cruise to learn about the culture on the bus, where it take you through the graveyards and why y'all do second lines to trick the ghosts to dance in backwards so the ghosts don't know how to the spirit. I won't say ghost. To trick the spirit so it won't know how to leave out of the that's powerful.
You hip me to certain things. We know about the second line song on so forth, the Voodoo Queen, all that. The
right.
Of America. It's New Orleans.
I'm gonna put her name too. We saw her grave.
Mama, look, I call it right.
I'm gonna put it up there for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll put it up there for you.
Talking about, so
yes, sir.
That part of it is the same but different stitch. It's we Cajun people and different things like that. So it's all in the whole essence of the whole Louisiana.
Right.
With New Orleans being the Mecca.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could tell you a million stories, family ghost houses and so on and so forth. Crazy. Here's when my mom was here, she'd turn your hair white.
Right. Had a hair standing on the back of your neck. My grandma too.
That type
ghost stories.
Ghost stories.
Yeah.
And when we grew up, we encountered some things too.
Right.
I hear Too Short talk about that sometime, and being Southern heritage. Hey, it's something that's in us and that we recognize, and if you had a mere glimpse, that's a different spirituality, that's a different realm, and like you said, different planet, that type of thing. So with Katrina, like I said, man, I wasn't there to see that myself, but I heard from family members and so on and so forth about the cannons that might have blown holes in the levee, allegedly, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Alligator snatching babies and families off their roofs, with that water being that high, and people that had to go get past their attic and sleep in the middle of the night, those gators, you know what I mean, come through. You can imagine the zoo animals, the prisoners and all that type of thing, from whatever war to the Superdome, you know what I mean? So, it was a horrendous time for us as a whole, and definitely New Orleans. You know what I mean? So, like I say, as far as the public broadcast, we taught that maybe 80-90% was covered. We don't know what 80-90%. But I know from being home, I think it started in the backyard of the Ninth Ward. and where Pop is from and to the rest of the city. So, but how do you rebuild that when we talking ghosts early and different things like that? How do you even come from that? I thought that was just really me being honest, and I never said this on camera, nothing before. I said, man, New Orleans is a dead city. They gonna cover it up with dirt. How can you come? It's too many ghosts, too many people died in the process of that. But after that, we won the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Paper and politics, my brother.
Make it make sense.
Thing, make you think on that playing field.
Yeah.
One time, win the Super Bowl twice to me, hey, all the sense in the world, at least go back to the Super Bowl. You had to win a second time.
Right.
But to have an NFL history,
you guys just
to have a season of an unblemished record. They played 17 games or something like that. The Saints was always the only undefeated team, 21 games or something. That's an undefeated team within that time.
Mm-hmm.
We was used to Louisiana natives that we gonna get a wild card every year.
Right.
But we ain't gonna never go to the Super Bowl. Not until Hurricane Katrina, so it make you think. That part.
And the crazy thing about that is, man, like I said, we took a bus tour through New Orleans, right?
So, yeah, man.
And hearing about Katrina and actually being down there,
yeah,
what the particular levee broke, the lady stopped the bus like, it's kind of like on a bridge. On this side, you got water.
Yeah.
And then you got like between the houses, it's the levee.
Yeah.
On this side, you got backyards and houses.
Yeah.
And on this side, you got the rich side.
Yeah, that part.
She showed me. She said, you see what that gray on that wall is a little lighter than the rest of it?
Yeah.
She said, that's the levee that broke.
Wow. And
when you see it, bro, to know that half of that city was underwater,
yeah,
that was powerful.
Hey, man.
It's something more to that. I don't
unexplainable.
You know, we got conspiracies, we got speculations that it blew up. You got people that heard things.
Yeah.
And man, rest in peace to all those brothers and sisters, man, and babies
mamas
that lost their life.
Papas, man.
You come on, brother.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah.
That it was in New Orleans, but it shocked the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, no matter what creed, color you was, man, people hurt from that.
Yeah.
But they rebuild it now, and I know one of the places I know they rebuilt was Willie Mae's Chicken.
Oh, wow.
Good God almighty.
I ain't never been to Willie Mae's Chicken as long as I've been to Louisiana. You telling me something new?
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
We went down there and we heard of Willie Mae, old lady, man, 90. Man, Willie Mae ended up, I think she about 90 something. If she haven't passed.
Yes.
I don't know.
Hey, bless.
You know what I'm saying? But when she flooded, the community helped her rebuild Willie Mae's, because it was one in the hood, then it's one downtown New Orleans by Canal Street.
Yes, indeed.
So the hotel we was at, I said, man, we got to go to Dookie Chase.
Yeah.
That's one. And we wanted to see Willie Mae's.
Yeah.
Went to Willie Mae's. The best chicken I ever had in my life.
In my life, yeah.
In my life, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. And I ain't supposed to be on this podcast. We black, we love chicken.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We love chicken.
Here it is. Yeah.
Shout out to Willie Mae's, man. In New Orleans, I will be back down there.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, man, what's the name of the new project?
One is called Full Circle.
Gotcha.
That's Houston-based. And the second album, it's like I'm doing a double record, but in 2 different states, for starters. Shouts out here again to my cousin Julio, and then we doing a record for Baton Rouge and throughout the world called Bleed for My City.
Okay.
So we just happen to evolve at the same time. And they're good right and left hand, man. So y'all stay tuned, get ready for that.
Any new singles off the album?
Too Hard to Live is one from the Houston record, The Full Circle, and So Gutter.
Okay.
You know, featuring myself, K Reno, produced by Lil Young, and the world famous Kid Frost.
Gotcha.
West Coast.
Gotcha.
And the second record, you know, and it's not me tooting my own horn. It's gonna speak for itself. We hadn't picked the single. Both of those records are full of them.
Gotcha.
So for starters, coming from Houston back into Louisiana, y'all stay tuned for. We just did a video for that. Shouts out to Katrina again, the young, for So Gutter, and one for Too Hard to Live. Shouts out to Thyra from Swisher House out of Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
So that type of thing, we just gonna follow the template and see what's necessary next. Who you say? Okay, yeah, and we just coming out of Atlanta. Shouts out to my cousin Lil Boosie, man. We working on a project. It's untitled right now, but we about halfway into it. So that's another project coming from the A, Baton Rouge into the A and back to the South and on out, you know what I mean?
Right.
That part.
Boosie badass?
Boosie badass.
Okay, okay.
You know what I mean? G Street, representative. And,
okay.
And of course, the Welcome to the Trap compilation. That's revitalizing my label, Trap Dough Entertainment.
Gotcha.
That part, stay tuned.
Man, if you need me on anything, I'll bless you with a 16.
Hey, say less.
Say less.
Like I said, I was talking to your guy for years. We just meeting in the flesh today for the first time. So I tell everybody this shit. Yeah, I don't know if we can cuss or whatever, but if you're F with me, you're stuck with me, man. Fill in the blanks. I love you, my family, man, and we gonna keep it family.
I love you too, brother. Yes, I appreciate you coming.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having us, man.
Man, I salute that, brother.
Hey, true general, man.
I salute that. I receive that.
Yes, sir.
And from one general to another, man, that means a lot.
Yes, sir.
To get my flowers.
Hey.
Just like I'm giving you yours.
Hey, say it to his face, man.
You better know it. You better know it.
Yes, indeed.
And
yeah, man.
Man, I'm glad you came to do the interview. I think a lot of people from the city.
Yeah, man.
Cause Montgomery is a city of, we love nostalgia. We love our living legend shows. Man, we'll bring 8 Ball, MJG, Juvenile. Like, we love nostalgia.
Yeah, true.
And the whole crowd will be from the ages of 29, 30 to 59. You know what I'm saying? 60. Because we grew up on that.
Yes, sir.
So, man, we're going to have to get you down here for a show.
Hey, say when, man.
How you do that there?
Hey, that's how we do that, my brother. Say when, tap my shoulders, and we out here, man. Say less, man, and God bless that part. Yeah, man.
Give a fuck, nigga, what? Full of that weed, planted like a poppy seed. A slanted and a chanting happy nigga named Young Bleed Carleon. In the jungle where the murder men mumble for months and days, tripping off the blunts, we flex hell of a high. And telling them why, I'ma never say die. You can see it in my eyes. And niggas say I fly like an eagle.